Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Ian and welcome back to another graded card video. Today we got our 50 plus card order submission back and we are gonna go through these. For the most part the grades were fairly good. I think the lowest grade we had was an 8.5, and then a couple 9s, quite a few 9.5s, and we did get a couple of 10s. No black labels on this one though. And we did have two cards come back that weren't gradable. One of them was a Weiss Schwarz card, and the other one was part of the Dragon Ball Z GKI set, which I was a little bummed about, so I will talk a little bit more about that as we go on. So let's get right into the first card. So we'll start off with the Pokemon stuff first. So we got a base set Blastoise. This is a German version, and this is in first edition, coming in at a mint 9. With the centering and corners at a 9.5 and the edges and surface at a 9. So, cool Blastoise there. And then we got a Shadowless Hitmonchan. This came in at a mint 9 as well. The centering was a 9.5, the surface was a 9.5, and then the corners and edges were a 9. So, pretty good for pretty old and rare Hitmonchan. And we also, I think, found that in a card shop binder. Next one is a Shadowless Arcanine. This came in at a Gem Mint 9.5. This had really strong grades on it. A surface was a perfect 10, and then everything else was a 9.5. So really good looking Arcanine right there. And then the next one is a Shadowless Haunter. This one also got a Gem Mint 9.5. The centering and surface was a 10. The corners were a 9.5, and the edges were a 9. Again, another strong grade for Shadowless card. Got a Porygon that came in at a 9.5, and this is also a Shadowless one. This also got the exact same grades as the Arcanine, so 10 on the surface and 9.5 on all other 3 categories. Really strong grades for that. Alright, and then this is I believe the last Shadowless Pokemon for this submission is a Electabuzz. This got a mint 9. The centering and surface were 9.5s, and the edges and corners were a 9. So not too bad, and a really cool looking card. Electabuzz is pretty good for a lot of those base set decks. Alright, and then we're moving into the Fossil set. So this is the non-foil first edition Moltres. This came in at a mint 9 with the centering at a 9.5, the corners and surface at a 9, and the edges at a 8.5. So, not too bad. Got a common Slowpoke. This came in at a mint 9. This is a first edition version. The surface was a 9.5, and then the other 3 categories were a 9. And we got a Mr. Fuji Trainer. The centering was a 9.5, and then all 3 categories, other categories were a 9. Alright, keep on going with Fossil. So we got a Grimer. This one has a mint 9 with the surface at a 9.5 and all 3 other categories at a 9. And this is also a first edition version. Alright, and then we're breaking into the 9.5s with the Kabuto. This got a 9.5 on all 3 of the centering, corners, and surface, and a 9 on the edges. So pretty good grades for that Fossil card there. And the last Fossil is the Zubat, and this got a 9.5 on the centering, edges, and surface, and a 9 on the corners. So pretty strong grades on that one as well. Alright, and then I think this is the last common for Pokemon. This is a Shuckle first edition from Neo Genesis, and this got a 9.5 on all 4 categories. So super strong Shuckle. Alright, so that does it for some of that older stuff. I'll move that to the side. And then, so we also have a really cool Flareon. This is actually missing the jungle symbol here. And this is the foil version. And this came in at a mint 9 as well. The centering and corners were 9.5, and the edges and surface were 9. And then we have some pretty cool Gym Heroes first edition cards. This is a Blaine's Moltres, came in at a Gem Mint 9.5. The centering, corners, and edges were 9.5s, and the surface was a 9. Really strong grade on that. Then we have a Rockets Moltres, which has 9.5 on all 4 categories. So very happy with that, and this is also a first edition version. One of the better looking Moltres cards, in my opinion, out there. So I was really happy with that grade. Lieutenant Surge's Electabuzz. This also got 9.5 on all 4 categories, so got a 9.5 overall. Really cool looking card. I love the Gym Hero and Gym Challenge cards, so I'd like to get a lot of those graded and see the high grades on them. And then we got Erica's Dragonair, which is keeping the trend. It got 9.5 on all 4 categories as well. And then this next one I was pretty bummed about. I may send this in for a regrade. So it's Rockets Hitmonchan. Came in at an 8.5. The centering was a 9. The corners and edges were a 9.5. But the surface was an 8. And I was kind of surprised at that. I don't really know why it had such a bad surface grade. I mean, this was from the same set that I got all the other Gym Hero cards out of. So, not sure. I'll probably try and see if I can get this regraded and see what's wrong with it. So, be on the lookout in the future for a possible regrade. And then the last Gym Heroes card is Sabrina's Gengar. This came in at a mint 9 with the centering at a 9.5, the corner, surface, and edges at a 9. So, pretty cool looking card there as well. Alright, so I think we are almost done with Pokemon, so now we're going to do a couple of the newer Pokemon cards. So this is half of the Darkrai Cresselia Legend. This came in at a Gem Mint 9.5. The corners were a 9. Everything else was a 9.5. So I am looking for the other bottom piece of this. If you have one, feel free to message me. Because I am looking to get it graded and hopefully get a 9.5 on that one as well. So I am only really looking for mint condition cards on this if you have one for sale. The next card is a Mismagius GL Level X. This is a this came in at a mint 9. The surface was a 9.5, corners and edges were at a 9, and the centering was an 8.5. Can't do much about centering. It's my least favorite grade. But other than that, it's a very pretty card, and glad to see it at least get a mint 9. This next one I was pretty bummed about. This was a Volcarona from the Ancient Origin set. So at the time when I pulled it, it was, I think that set had just been released. So the centering grade was an 8.5 on it, and I think it's more from the front than the back, because the back doesn't look too off-center, but got a mint 9. The surface and edges were 9.5s, the corners were 9, and then the centering was an 8.5. But this was a pack fresh card, and that just goes to show just kind of how hard it is to grade some of these new Pokemon cards that, I mean, when you pull them out of packs, their corners and edges are still messed up. You can't really do much about it. So, unfortunate there, but it is a very good looking card, and I like to see it in a slab. Next one is a Greninja, and this is from the XY base set. This got a 9 on the corner, surface, and edges, and a 9.5 on the centering. So just a cool looking card, and don't really know anyone that doesn't like Greninja, so cool to see it in a slab. And I believe this is the last Pokemon card. It is a Primal Kyogre from the Ancient Origin set, and I believe this is the Secret Rare version. Nope, just the full art. Okay. And this got a overall mint 9. The centering and surface were, or sorry, centering and corners were 9, and then the edges and surface was a 9.5. So a very cool looking card. I like these full arts, and glad to have that one in a slab as well. Alright, so that covers all the Pokemon stuff. I know that was probably Pokemon overload, so let's switch it up and go into some Dragon Ball Z for now. So we will start off with the Panini stuff first. Well, the only card that I got from Panini graded is the Vegeta Elite, and this is from the Dragon Ball Z Evolutions set. This came in at a mint 9, the centering was a 9.5, the edges were a 9.5, and then corners and surface were a 9. So, very cool looking card. I love these new Ultra Rares, and the foil pattern on them looks really nice. So, just got to get my Hidden Power Drill graded, and then I'll have all 4 of the Ultra Rares from that set finished. Okay, and then the the older Dragon Ball Z score stuff, I got the last Scoring Zone card that I have, or really have a shot at ever getting, because Ultimate Champion is very far out of my reach, is the Black Lunge. So this came in at an 8.5. The centering, edges, and surface were 8.5s, and the corners were 9. This is probably the best one that I had, so I probably will try and get another Black Lunge that hopefully can be in a little bit better shape. I had 3, and this is the best one out of the 3 I had, so. But just wanted to get one graded, and so I can at least have that set finished. And then I had the Goku Season card get graded as well. This got a centering, was a 9.5, and then all 3 categories after that were a 9. So just a really cool looking art, and I really like this card and how the foil pattern looks. So pretty cool. Alright, and then we'll get into the GKI Ultra set. So the Frieza the Master card out of this, for whatever reason, they did not see fit to grade because they said there was a mark on the back and it was a discoloring or something on it. So if you have one, I'm looking for one to buy, and so I can finish out grading this set. So we'll start with the lowest grade first and then work our way up. So I got an Evil Presence Drill, came in at a 8.5. Mostly due to centering, which was an 8.5, and then the corners were an 8.5. Edges and surface were a 9. And then the other 8.5 was Goku's Truce, again, mostly to the centering, and the edges were 8.5s. And then the corners and surface were a 9. Okay. And then for the 9s, we got Chatsu's Physical Defense, 9 on all 4 categories. Pikkon, the Prize Fighter, got a 9.5 on centering, 9 on corners and edges, and an 8.5 on the surface. Then we have Goku's Plan, 9 on everything except centering, which was an 8.5. Medic Kit, which was a 9 on corners, 8.5 on centering, and 9.5 on surface and edges. Cell's Presence had a 9 on everything except corners, which were an 8.5. And then Where There's Life, There's Hope. There's 9 on everything except surface, which was an 8.5. Villain's True Power got a 9 on everything except the edges, which were a 9.5. The Hero is Down, got a mint 9, 9 on the corners, 8.5 on the surface, and then 9.5 on centering and edges. Trunks Guardian Drill, 9 on everything except the surface, which was an 8.5. And then same thing for Z Warriors Gather, 9 on everything, and then a 8.5 on the surface grade. Okay, then we had Goku's Blinding Strike. 9.5 on centering and edges, 9 on corners, 8.5 on the surface. And the last one was King Cole the All-Powerful, which got the only 9.5 in the submission. So 9.5 on everything but the corners, which were 9. So overall, I was okay with these grades for the Dragon Ball Z stuff. I was kind of hoping for more 9.5s, considering how well the other cards did in their grades. But at least glad to be almost done with the set, and then once I get another Frieza, I'll finish the set off as far as the grade goes. And then, so the next stuff we'll go into, we'll finish, we'll do Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So we got, I think all these got 9s, yeah. So we got Cyber Dark Dragon, this is the Ultimate First Edition version. Got a 9.5 on centering and the edges, 9 on the corners, and then 8.5 on the surface. The Ally of Justice Catastor got a mint 9, 9.5 on centering and edges and surface, and then the corners were an 8.5. Kind of unfortunate on that. Oh well. And then a Judgment Dragon from Light of Destruction. This is the first edition version. 9.5 on the centering and edges, 9 on the surface, and 8.5 on the corners. Then we have the Merrick Token. I believe this is from Yu-Gi-Oh! Day in 2014. This was a 9.5 on all 3 categories except the surface, which was an 8.5. Alright, so that does it for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. And then we got some Card Fight Vanguard cards. So we got the original Blaster Blade from the Descent of the King and Knight set. This got a pristine 10, and again, centering is the worst thing in the world. Other than that, can't really say much about this card, except it looks really pretty. And then we got the CEO Amaterasu, again from the same set, and again the same problem, centering is the worst. And then we'll go into some Weiss Schwarz cards. We got, what is this, SD Asuna, so the chibi form, and this is a promo, if I am correct, yep. It's got a mint 9, 9/5 on the centering and corners, 9 on the edges, and 8/5 on the surface. And then we got a SP Asuna. This had a 9/5 on everything but the surface, which was an 8/5. But really cool looking card, and really like to see that in this lab. And the last Weiss Schwarz is the Black Swordsman Kirito. It's got a 9/5 on all 4 grades, so really good. And this is the triple rare version, so it looks really cool. All right. So we only got 2 more cards. So this one is from the Kaijudo game, which is the remake of Duel Masters, and this was the Billion Degree Dragon. I've had one of these. I actually have an original Billion Degree Dragon from Duel Masters, and then I got one of these when it was reprinted. So it was really cool to see this graded, and it was just something kind of fun and different that I wanted to show and get graded. But 9/5 on all 3 grades, or on centering, corners, and surface, and then the edges were a 9. Really cool foil pattern. Alright, and then it wouldn't be a grading submission unless I had a Hakusho card in there. So the last card for this is a Yoko the Spirit Fox. This got a Gem Mint 9.5, and it had 9/5s on all 4 grades, so really strong. I've really spent a lot of time looking through all my like 25 Yokos that I have, and trying to find the best one. So very happy with this card's grade, especially since I just got the autograph one back, and I think that one had a 9/5 as well, but I think this one had better grades than that one. But really strong and really pretty card. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep on the lookout for February. We're gonna have more cards getting graded, of course. And if you have any questions or like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And you guys have a good rest of your night.